California DMV Practice Test, Test 2. Question 1. Should you always drive slower than other traffic? Option A. No, you can block traffic when you drive too slowly. Option B. Yes, it is a good defensive driving technique. Option C. Yes, it is always safer than driving faster. The correct answer is no, you can block traffic when you drive too slowly. Explanation. While it is important to drive at a safe and appropriate speed, always driving slower than other traffic can be problematic because it may impede the flow of traffic and create safety hazards. It's essential to match your speed with the prevailing traffic conditions and posted speed limits, and to adjust your speed as necessary to ensure safety. Defensive driving involves adapting to the situation, which may include driving at or near the speed of surrounding traffic when conditions allow for it. Test 2. Question 2. When parking next to a curb, you should use your turn signals. Option A. Only when pulling away from the curb. Option B. When pulling next to, but not away from, the curb. Option C. When pulling next to or away from the curb. The correct answer is when pulling next to or away from the curb. Explanation. Turn signals are essential for indicating your intentions to other drivers. When you are parking and need to move your vehicle closer to the curb, pulling next to it, or away from the curb, pulling away from it, you should use your turn signals to let other drivers know which direction you intend to move. This helps maintain the safety and predictability of traffic flow. Test 2. Question 3. Which of the following is true about double parking? Option A. It is illegal under all circumstances. Option B. It is illegal only if you leave your car. Option C. It is legal if you are making a delivery. The correct answer is it is illegal under all circumstances. Explanation. Double parking is generally illegal in most places and under almost all circumstances. Double parking occurs when a vehicle parks alongside another vehicle that is already legally parked at the curb, effectively occupying two lanes of traffic. It can disrupt the flow of traffic and create safety hazards. There may be specific exceptions or allowances for brief stops, such as for loading or unloading, but these are typically regulated and limited in duration by local traffic laws. Always check your local traffic regulations for specific rules regarding double parking. Test 2. Question 4. A freeway on-ramp is marked with this sign. Which of the following vehicles may use this lane? Option A. A convertible with an adult and two children. Option B. A carpool van containing only the driver. Option C. A sport utility vehicle containing an adult, child, and family pet. The correct answer is a convertible with an adult and two children. Explanation. The convertible with an adult and two children may use the carpool lane because it has 3 people in the vehicle, meeting the requirement. Test 2. Question 5. You reach an intersection with stop signs on all 4 corners at the same time as the driver on your left. Who has the right of way? Option A. The driver on your left has the right of way. Option B. You have the right of way. Option C. Whoever is signaling to make a turn has the right of way. The correct answer is you have the right of way. Explanation. When 2 vehicles reach an intersection with stop signs at the same time, the vehicle to the right typically has the right of way. This is known as the right-of-way rule. So, in this scenario, you would have the right-of-way if the driver on your left arrived at the intersection simultaneously. It's important to note that this rule assumes that both vehicles have come to a complete stop at the stop signs. If one vehicle doesn't come to a complete stop, the other vehicle with the right-of-way should proceed cautiously while yielding to the vehicle that didn't stop properly. Additionally, if either driver is signaling to make a turn, they should still yield the right-of-way to the vehicle on their right if they arrived at the intersection at the same time. Always exercise caution and be prepared to yield if necessary to avoid accidents and ensure safety. Test 2. Question 6. You must yield to a pedestrian using a white cane or guide dog. Option A. Only when a guide dog is leading the person across the street. Option B. At all times. Option C. Only if a crossing guard is present. The correct answer is at all times. Explanation. You must yield to a pedestrian using a white cane or guide dog at all times. It's a fundamental rule of road safety to prioritize the safety of pedestrians, especially those with visual impairments who are using these aids for mobility. Always exercise caution and yield the right-of-way to pedestrians with white canes or guide dogs when they are crossing the street or using a crosswalk. You should not depend on the presence of a guide dog or a crossing guard to determine whether you should yield to such pedestrians. The responsibility to yield is yours as a driver. Test 2. Question 7. You must stop at the intersection ahead. Just before the intersection, you have to cross railroad tracks. You should stop before you cross the railroad tracks when Option A. You don't have room to completely cross the tracks. Option B. The crossing is located in a city or town with frequent train traffic. Option C. You transport 2 or more children in a passenger vehicle. The correct answer is you don't have room to completely cross the tracks. Explanation. It's important to ensure that your vehicle can completely clear the railroad tracks before proceeding. Stopping on the tracks or attempting to cross when there isn't enough room can be extremely dangerous and could lead to a collision with an oncoming train. Always prioritize safety when approaching railroad crossings and ensure there is sufficient clearance to safely cross the tracks before proceeding. Test 2. Question 8. A solid yellow line next to a broken yellow line means that vehicles Option A. In both directions may pass. Option B. Next to the broken line may pass. Option C. Next to the solid line may pass. The correct answer is next to the broken line may pass. Explanation. In many road systems, a solid yellow line indicates a no passing zone, meaning you should not pass other vehicles when the solid line is on your side of the road. A broken yellow line, on the other hand, indicates that passing is allowed when it is safe to do so. When you see a solid yellow line next to a broken yellow line, it means that vehicles next to the broken line, the side with the broken line, are allowed to pass, but vehicles next to the solid line, the side with the solid line, should not pass. Always follow local road signs and markings for specific regulations in your area. Test 2. Question 9. When driving on a multi-lane street with two-way traffic. Option A. Drive alongside other vehicles so the drivers can see you. Option B. You should drive ahead of or behind the other vehicles. Option C. It is safest to drive in the lane next to the center line. The correct answer is you should drive ahead of or behind the other vehicles. Explanation. It is safest to maintain a safe following distance behind the vehicle in front of you or to drive ahead of the vehicle behind you. This way, you reduce the risk of a collision and provide a buffer zone for safety. Driving alongside other vehicles, especially in the same lane, can increase the chances of accidents and reduce your ability to react to changing traffic conditions. Test 2. Question 10. Drivers are required to obey instructions from Option A. Security guards patrolling parking lots. Option B. Other drivers whose vehicles are broken down on the roadway. Option C. Flaggers, signal persons, at construction sites. The correct answer is flaggers, signal persons, at construction sites. Explanation. Flaggers or signal persons at construction sites have the authority to direct traffic and ensure the safety of both drivers and construction workers. It's crucial to follow their instructions for your safety and the safety of others in and around the construction zone. Ignoring their signals can lead to accidents and endanger lives. Bonus question. This question was in Test 1. There are going to be 3 bonus questions in each test. Instruction. The answer to this question will be given at the end of this video. For now, at the end of this question, pause the video, go to the comments section of this video, and type your best guesses about which option is the correct choice. For example, you can type. The correct answer for bonus question 1 is A, B, or C. Bonus question 1. A red arrow pointing to the right on a traffic light means you may. Option A. Turn in that direction after slowing and checking for traffic. Option B. Not turn in that direction until the light turns green. Option C. Turn in that direction after you come to a complete stop. Pause the video, go to the comments section, and type. The correct answer for bonus question 1 is Test 2. Question 11. You are driving on a city street and see an emergency vehicle with flashing lights behind you. What should you do? Option A. Drive to the right edge of the road and slow down. Option B. Drive to the right edge of the road and stop. Option C. Stay in your lane, slow down, and let it pass. The correct answer is drive to the right edge of the road and stop. Explanation. It's essential to yield the right-of-way to emergency vehicles when their lights and sirens are activated. Pulling over to the right and coming to a complete stop allows the emergency vehicle to pass safely and quickly. Do not block intersections or continue driving slowly, as this could impede the emergency vehicle's progress and delay its response to the emergency. Always prioritize the safety of the emergency responders and those in need of their assistance. Test 2. Question 12. You are involved in a minor collision at an intersection. There are no injuries and very little vehicle damage. You should. Option A. Leave your vehicle in the traffic lane until law enforcement arrives. Option B. Move your vehicle out of the traffic lane if possible. Option C. Not move your vehicle for any reason. The correct answer is move your vehicle out of the traffic lane if possible. Explanation. It's generally a good practice to move your vehicle to a safe location, such as the shoulder of the road or a nearby parking lot if it can be safely done. This helps prevent further accidents and allows traffic to flow smoothly. However, if there are injuries, significant vehicle damage, or if moving the vehicles would pose a safety risk, you should leave them in place and contact law enforcement. Always prioritize safety in such situations. Test 2. Question 13. Which of these statements is true about slippery road surfaces? Option A. Driving on wet leaves on the road will give you extra traction. Option B. On cold days, shade from buildings or trees can hide spots of ice. Option C. The pavement is less slippery when it first starts to rain on a hot day than it is afterwards. The correct answer is on cold days, shade from buildings or trees can hide spots of ice. Explanation. Shaded areas can retain ice even after other parts of the road have thawed, making it less visible and potentially more slippery. Drivers should exercise caution when driving in shaded areas on cold days, especially during or after precipitation. The other statements are not accurate. Test 2. Question 14. You may drive in a bike lane. Option A. If you drive slower than 15 miles per hour. Option B. No more than 200 feet before making a right turn. Option C. Whenever bicyclists are not present. The correct answer is no more than 200 feet before making a right turn. Explanation. In many jurisdictions, it is generally permissible for a motor vehicle to enter a bike lane no more than 200 feet before making a right turn. This allows the vehicle to prepare for a right turn without crossing over multiple lanes of traffic. However, you should always yield to any bicyclists in the bike lane and exercise caution when merging into or across a bike lane. It is important to follow local traffic laws and regulations, as rules regarding bike lanes can vary by location. Test 2. Question 15. Which of the following is true about roadways on bridges and overpasses in cold, wet weather? Option A. They tend to freeze before the rest of the road does. Option B. They do not freeze because they are made of concrete. Option C. They tend to freeze after the rest of the road does. The correct answer is, they tend to freeze before the rest of the road does. Explanation. Bridges and overpasses can freeze more quickly and remain icy longer than the rest of the road because they are exposed to cold air on both the top and bottom surfaces. This exposure to cold air from above and below can cause the road surface to freeze faster and stay icy even when other parts of the road have thawed. Drivers should exercise extra caution when driving on bridges and overpasses in cold, wet conditions, especially during freezing temperatures. Test 2. Question 16. This sign means. Option A. The road ahead has many curves. Option B. There is a sharp curve in the road ahead. Option C. The road ahead may be slippery. The correct answer is, the road ahead may be slippery. Explanation. This sign is used to warn drivers that the road surface may be slippery, especially in wet weather conditions. It's a cautionary sign indicating that drivers should reduce their speed and exercise caution to avoid losing traction and potentially skidding on the road. Test 2. Question 17. To see cars in your blind spots, you should check. Option A. The inside rearview mirror. Option B. The outside rearview mirror. Option C. Over your shoulders. The correct answer is, over your shoulders. Explanation. While your rearview and side mirrors are valuable tools for monitoring traffic around your vehicle, they may not provide a clear view of the blind spots, which are areas not visible in your mirrors. To effectively check your blind spots, you should briefly glance over your shoulders in the direction you intend to move or change lanes. This ensures you have a complete view of the surrounding traffic, including any vehicles that may be in your blind spots. Test 2. Question 18. Blocking an intersection during rush hour traffic is not permitted. Option A. Unless you entered the intersection on a green light. Option B. Under any circumstances, even if your light is green. Option C. Unless you have the right-of-way or a green light. The correct answer is, under any circumstances, even if your light is green. Explanation. Blocking an intersection, especially during rush hour traffic, is generally prohibited because it can impede the flow of traffic, create congestion, and lead to safety hazards. You should only enter an intersection when you have enough space on the other side to completely clear it, ensuring that you do not block cross traffic. Blocking intersections is typically a violation of traffic laws and can result in traffic citations. Always obey traffic signals and signs and keep intersections clear to maintain the smooth flow of traffic. Test 2. Question 19. You are on the freeway and traffic is merging into your lane. You should. Option A. Make room for the merging traffic if possible. Option B. Assert your right-of-way by driving faster. Option C. Always slow down and maintain your position. The correct answer is, make room for the merging traffic if possible. Explanation. It's important to allow merging vehicles to enter the freeway smoothly and safely. Adjust your speed or change lanes, if necessary, to create a gap for the merging traffic. Asserting your right-of-way by driving faster or not making room for merging vehicles can lead to dangerous situations and potentially cause accidents. Always prioritize safety and cooperation when merging on the freeway. Test 2. Question 20. Driving under the influence of any medication which impairs your driving is permitted. Option A. Under no circumstances. Option B. If you do not feel drowsy. Option C. If it is prescribed by a physician. The correct answer is, under no circumstances. Explanation. Driving under the influence of medications that impair your ability to drive safely is dangerous and illegal in most places. Even if a medication is prescribed by a physician, you should follow their guidance regarding when it is safe to drive while taking that medication. If you believe a medication may impair your ability to drive, it's best to avoid driving until you are no longer under the influence of the medication and can safely operate a vehicle. Always prioritize safety when it comes to driving and the use of medications. Bonus question. This question was in Test 1. Bonus question 2. On freezing, wet days, which of the following roadways is most likely to hide spots of ice? Option A. Roadways near the tops of hills. Option B. Roadways on bridges and overpasses. Option C. Roadways paved with asphalt. Pause the video, go to the comments section, and type. The correct answer for bonus question 2 is Test 2. Question 21. When you don't see any other vehicles around you while driving. Option A. You may legally exceed the posted speed limit. Option B. You must still signal for turns and lane changes. Option C. You are not required to signal for turns and lane changes. The correct answer is you must still signal for turns and lane changes. Explanation. Regardless of the presence of other vehicles, it's essential to signal your intentions for turns and lane changes. Signaling helps communicate your actions to other potential road users who may not be immediately visible. This practice contributes to overall road safety and ensures that other drivers, pedestrians, or cyclists are aware of your intentions on the road. So, always use your turn signals as required by traffic laws, even when you believe there are no other vehicles nearby. Test 2. Question 22. A flashing red traffic light at an intersection means. Option A. Slow down before entering. Option B. Stop before entering. Option C. Stop and wait for the green light. The correct answer is stop before entering. Explanation. When you approach a flashing red traffic light, you must come to a complete stop before entering the intersection. After stopping, you can proceed when it is safe to do so, typically after yielding the right-of-way to other vehicles and pedestrians. Flashing red lights are used to indicate a stop, similar to a regular red traffic light, but they are often used at intersections with lower traffic volumes or during non-peak hours to manage traffic more efficiently. Always obey the rules and signals at traffic lights to ensure safety at intersections. Test 2. Question 23. A flashing red traffic light at an intersection means. Option A. The light is about to turn red. Option B. The light is about to turn yellow. Option C. The same thing as a stop sign. The correct answer is the same thing as a stop sign. Explanation. A flashing red traffic light is equivalent to a stop sign. When you approach an intersection with a flashing red light, you must come to a complete stop, just as you would when you encounter a stop sign. After stopping, you can proceed when it is safe to do so, typically after yielding the right-of-way to other vehicles and pedestrians. It indicates that you should treat the intersection as if there were a stop sign in place. Always obey the rules and signals at traffic lights and stop signs to ensure safety at intersections. Test 2. Question 24. If you are riding in a vehicle equipped with a lap belt and a separate shoulder belt, you are. Option A. Only required to use the lap belt. Option B. Required to use both the lap and shoulder belts. Option C. Only required to use the shoulder belt. The correct answer is required to use both the lap and shoulder belts. Explanation. Using both the lap belt and shoulder belt is essential for your safety and is typically a legal requirement in most jurisdictions. The combination of both belts provides the best protection in the event of a collision or sudden stop, as it helps distribute the force of impact more effectively and reduces the risk of injury. Always follow the seatbelt laws in your area and use all available safety restraints properly. Test 2. Question 25. While all of the following actions are dangerous to do while driving, which is also illegal. Option A. Listening to music through a set of dual headphones. Option B. Adjusting your outside mirrors. Option C. Reading a road map. The correct answer is listening to music through a set of dual headphones. Explanation. Listening to music through a set of dual headphones is not only dangerous but also illegal in many places. Using dual headphones while driving can impair your ability to hear important sounds from the road, such as sirens, horns, and other vehicles, which can be critical for safety. Additionally, it can distract you from focusing on the road, leading to accidents. Many jurisdictions have laws against using headphones or earphones in both ears while driving to prevent these safety risks. Always check and follow the local traffic laws and regulations in your area regarding headphone use while driving. Test 2. Question 26. This sign means Option A. Controlled railroad ahead. Option B. Be prepared to stop if the light is flashing. Option C. There is a traffic signal ahead. The correct answer is there is a traffic signal ahead. Explanation. This sign is used to inform drivers that they are approaching a location where a traffic signal is installed. It serves as an advance warning to drivers that they should be prepared to obey the upcoming traffic signal's indications, such as stopping at a red light or proceeding when the light is green. Test 2. Question 27. A flashing yellow traffic signal at an intersection means Option A. You should treat the signal like a stop sign. Option B. Stop. Yield to all cross traffic before crossing in the intersection. Option C. Slow down and be alert at the upcoming intersection. The correct answer is slow down and be alert at the upcoming intersection. Explanation. A flashing yellow light is a cautionary signal that advises drivers to proceed through the intersection with caution. It indicates that you should reduce your speed and be prepared to yield to any oncoming traffic or pedestrians, but you are not required to come to a complete stop unless it is necessary for safety reasons. You should use caution and exercise good judgment when approaching and proceeding through the intersection. Test 2. Question 28. To turn left from a one-way street with multiple lanes onto a two-way street, start the turn in. Option A. The far left lane. Option B. Any lane available. Option C. The lane closest to the middle of the street. The correct answer is the far left lane. Explanation. When making a left turn from a one-way street onto a two-way street, you should enter the intersection in the far left lane, the leftmost lane, and complete the turn into the corresponding left lane of the two-way street. This helps ensure a safe and smooth transition into the new roadway and minimizes the chances of conflicts with other vehicles. Always follow traffic rules and lane designations when making turns to ensure safety. Test 2. Question 29. What is the benefit of a space cushion around your vehicle? Option A. Other drivers can cut in front of you, improving the flow of traffic. Option B. If another driver makes a mistake, you have time to react. Option C. It inflates to protect you from injury in the case of a collision. The correct answer is if another driver makes a mistake, you have time to react. Explanation. Maintaining a safe following distance and creating a space cushion around your vehicle provides you with extra time and space to react to unexpected situations, such as sudden stops, lane changes, or other drivers' mistakes. This additional space can help you avoid collisions and navigate traffic safely. It's a fundamental principle of defensive driving to leave enough room between your vehicle and the one in front of you to allow for safe braking and evasive maneuvers when necessary. Test 2. Question 30. Tailgating other drivers, driving too closely to their rear bumper. Option A. Can frustrate other drivers and make them angry. Option B. Cannot result in a traffic citation. Option C. Reduces collisions by preventing being cut off. The correct answer is can frustrate other drivers and make them angry. Explanation. Tailgating is generally viewed as aggressive and unsafe behavior on the road. When you follow too closely, it can intimidate the driver in front of you and create a dangerous situation. Frustration and anger from other drivers can lead to road rage incidents, which can escalate and result in unsafe driving behaviors or confrontations. It's essential to maintain a safe following distance and drive courteously to promote road safety and prevent aggressive driving behaviors. Bonus question. This question was in Test 1. Bonus question 3. A safety zone is a specially marked area for passengers to get on or off buses or trolleys. You may not drive through a safety zone. Option A. Only when a bus or trolley is present. Option B. Only when a bus or trolley is unloading passengers. Option C. At any time for any reason. Pause the video, go to the comments section, and type. The correct answer for bonus question 3 is Test 2. Question 31. You want to park uphill on a two-way road and there is no curb. Which way do you turn your front wheels? Option A. So they face straight ahead. Option B. Right, toward the side of the road. Option C. Left, toward the center of the road. The correct answer is right, toward the side of the road. Explanation. Turning your front wheels to the right, toward the side of the road, helps prevent your vehicle from rolling downhill into the traffic lane if the brakes fail or if there's any other reason the vehicle might start moving. This is a safety precaution to minimize the risk of accidents when parking on an uphill slope without a curb. Test 2. Question 32. If there is no crosswalk and you see a pedestrian crossing your lane, you should. Option A. Make sure the pedestrian can see you before proceeding. Option B. Cautiously drive around the pedestrian. Option C. Stop and let the pedestrian finish crossing. The correct answer is stop and let the pedestrian finish crossing. Explanation. Even if there is no marked crosswalk, pedestrians have the right of way when crossing the road at an intersection or any location. You should always yield to pedestrians and allow them to safely complete their crossing before proceeding. It's crucial to prioritize pedestrian safety and follow traffic laws regarding yielding to pedestrians. Making sure the pedestrian can see you and being cautious are also important, but the primary action is to come to a complete stop and allow the pedestrian to cross safely. Test 2. Question 33. You are driving on the freeway behind a large truck. You should drive. Option A. Closer behind the truck than you would if following a passenger vehicle. Option B. Farther behind the truck than you would if following a passenger vehicle. Option C. To the right side of the truck and wait to pass. The correct answer is farther behind the truck than you would if following a passenger vehicle. Explanation. Maintaining a greater following distance behind a large truck is important for safety. It allows you more time to react to any sudden stops or maneuvers the truck may make and reduces the risk of accidents, especially rear-end collisions. Large trucks have longer stopping distances, so it's crucial to give yourself ample space when driving behind them. Additionally, staying farther back helps improve your visibility and reduces the impact of any turbulence or drafts created by the truck. Always exercise caution and keep a safe following distance when driving near large trucks on the freeway. Test 2. Question 34. This white sign means. Option A. You should slow down and move to the right lane. Option B. Stay in the right lane if you are driving more slowly than other traffic. Option C. Slower traffic must exit on the right. The correct answer is stay in the right lane if you are driving more slowly than other traffic. Explanation. The slower traffic keep right sign means that you should stay in the right lane if you are driving more slowly than other traffic. This sign is used to encourage smoother traffic flow by advising slower moving vehicles to use the right lane, allowing faster moving vehicles to pass safely on the left. It's important to follow this rule to help maintain orderly and safe traffic conditions on multi-lane roads and highways. However, always be aware of local traffic laws and conditions, as there may be exceptions or variations in specific situations. Test 2. Question 35. If you have trouble seeing other vehicles because of dust or smoke blowing across the roadway, you should drive more slowly and turn on your Option A. Emergency flashers. Option B. Parking lights. Option C. Headlights. The correct answer is headlights. Explanation. If you have trouble seeing other vehicles due to dust or smoke blowing across the roadway, you should drive more slowly and turn on your headlights. Using headlights increases your visibility to other drivers and helps ensure a safer driving environment in challenging conditions. Emergency flashers are typically reserved for situations where your vehicle is stationary or moving significantly slower than the flow of traffic, such as during an emergency or when pulled over on the side of the road. Parking lights are not designed for increased visibility and should not be relied upon in situations where you need to be more visible to other drivers. Test 2. Question 36. At intersections, crosswalks, and railroad crossings, you should always Option A. Stop, listen, and proceed if you cannot hear anything. Option B. Look to the sides of your vehicle. Option C. Concentrate on oncoming traffic. The correct answer is look to the sides of your vehicle. Explanation. At intersections, crosswalks, and railroad crossings, you should always look to the sides of your vehicle. This is an essential part of being aware of your surroundings and checking for any potential hazards, pedestrians, or oncoming traffic. While concentrating on oncoming traffic is important, being aware of all directions is crucial for making safe and informed decisions at intersections and crossings. Simply stopping, listening, and proceeding if you cannot hear anything might not provide a comprehensive assessment of the situation. Always practice thorough observation and be attentive to your surroundings when approaching intersections or crossings. Bonus question. This question was in Test 1. Bonus question 1. A red arrow pointing to the right on a traffic light means you may. Option A. Turn in that direction after slowing and checking for traffic. Option B. Not turn in that direction until the light turns green. Option C. Turn in that direction after you come to a complete stop. The correct answer is not turn in that direction until the light turns green. Explanation. A red arrow pointing to the right indicates that you must stop and not make a right turn until the signal changes to green. Making a right turn against a red arrow signal is typically prohibited and can result in a traffic violation. Bonus question 2. On freezing, wet days, which of the following roadways is most likely to hide spots of ice? Option A. Roadways near the tops of hills. Option B. Roadways on bridges and overpasses. Option C. Roadways paved with asphalt. The correct answer is roadways on bridges and overpasses. Explanation. On freezing, wet days, roadways on bridges and overpasses are most likely to hide spots of ice. Bridges and overpasses tend to freeze more quickly than other parts of the road because they are exposed to cold air from all sides, including from below. This rapid cooling can lead to the formation of ice patches, even when other parts of the road may appear to be clear. Therefore, it's important to exercise caution when driving on bridges and overpasses during freezing and wet conditions, as they can become slippery and pose a greater risk of ice formation compared to other sections of the roadway. Bonus question 3. A safety zone is a specially marked area for passengers to get on or off buses or trolleys. You may not drive through a safety zone. Option A. Only when a bus or trolley is present. Option B. Only when a bus or trolley is unloading passengers. Option C. At any time for any reason. The correct answer is At any time for any reason. Explanation. A safety zone is a designated area for passengers to get on or off buses or trolleys safely. It is typically marked with special pavement markings and signs. You should never drive through a safety zone, regardless of whether a bus or trolley is present or unloading passengers. These zones are reserved for the safety and convenience of passengers, and driving through them is prohibited to prevent potential accidents or hazards.